Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Fleurette, love_Fleurette on all social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and everything else where you can find me. Listen, today we're here to talk about Liz from Ready to Love. The reason why I want to talk about this today, because when she was on her show, I did do a whole review of Ready to Love. And I did it, talking about how I don't think her and Jason are going to make it because they're not birds of a feather. And that what she was looking for in a man, Jason could not give her that, okay? And Jason was a manipulative person. He was not a very nice person also. I'm sorry, but he wasn't. And he was using her to basically get back at Cara. So that's what we're talking about in this video. And if you are somebody who likes to watch videos about relationships and even just popular culture and the lessons you can learn from that to apply into your life as a in your relationships and your friendships and whatnot, you like that kind of stuff and discussions, and hit that subscribe button and maybe like this video and go through my videos, and maybe there'll be a video you like or a video you want to cuss me out on or whatever, and leave me a long comment like all these other brothers like to. Anyways, let's go into it. Okay, so a recap of Ready to Love, whatever season that Liz was on. I can't remember the number, whether it's season 4 or 5, whatever, I can't remember. So Liz was this beautiful country woman. Where was she from again? She was from the south somewhere. Beautiful woman, absolutely lovely spirit. She came across so nice on the show, just a genuinely good person. She was genuinely looking for love. And Liz's story, to me, the minute she said her story, I was like, girl, you're on the wrong show, honey. This is not where you're gonna find love, okay? This is not what God has ordained. I mean, if you are serious about what God has for you, unless God told you to come on this show, honey, you're not gonna find love here, sweet. She was abstinent. She didn't want to engage in sexual activities before marriage to honor the Lord, as we all should be doing as Christians. No judgment. We've all fallen short of God's glory. So she was doing that. And then Jason, he came across very sex starved. Okay, he came across like he was really just dying for some pee. Y'all understand? Pushing pee. He was dying for some pee. Pee for a woman's cootie cat. So they ended up together. Really true. The way they ended up together was because Cara basically rejected him, so he kind of but then chose Liz, but not because he really wanted Liz. He was trying to do that to spite Cara. And then he sat on that reunion chair or couch and sat there and was like, this right here, this is real. This is real. I can't stand Jason. I can't stand the face on him. I can't stand anything that anybody that looked like him. Anybody named Jason, I can't stand them, okay, because of that show. Let me tell you something. Anyways, so obviously they didn't really make it because we all knew they were not going to make it, because if a man wants sex in a relationship and you are waiting for marriage, unless that man's gonna marry you in the next 5-6 months, he's not gonna wait. Because when you're abstinent, you both have to be abstinent. You understand? Like if you're dating and you're abstinent, you need to date someone who's abstinent. Otherwise, it's either they're gonna force you out of your abstinence through guilt tripping, or they're gonna be forced into abstinence. And you can't be abstinent unless you have the real conviction in your heart to be abstinent, that you really feel like, I must honor God with my body. I must honor the Lord with my body. Yes, maybe I've done some things in the past. You know what I mean? But like, I must honor the Lord with my body. So if you really don't have that conviction, it's really difficult to be abstinent. It's difficult even when you have the conviction. But if you don't have the conviction, it's basically impossible. So it was going to be one or the other. It's either you're going to come with abstinence or he's going to be forced into abstinence. Either way, it's not a good look. Okay, because if you're not doing it with a glad heart, don't do it. Anyways, so they didn't really last that long. I think they were even in one season, they came back as the success story, which I thought was really silly for them to come back as a success story, because unless you're married, that's not a success story. The success story is you met on Ready to Love, you went on to have a relationship, and you got married. That's the success. The success isn't, oh, he became my boyfriend. Like, girl, we are at the age where boyfriend girlfriend ain't enough. Are you his wife? If the answer is no, it is not a success story, sweetheart. Anyways, on one of the seasons after theirs, they came back as a success story, even though they'd only been dating for like 5-6 months. Boom, whatever. So recently, they both did a live. I think Liz did a live. She was on the live with Sabrina, who's from another season, and Aisha, who's from another season, and Girl the Tea with Aisha, girl. But we're not going to talk about that because I didn't review that show. Anyways, so on that show, on the live, she talks about how she regrets going on that show because, you know, it was not what God wanted for her, and she basically feels like she wasted her time. And she said God told her, listen, I let you go on that show so you can understand that you cannot manipulate my timing. You know, my timing is the right timing. And let me tell you something, there's a word right there, because so many times many of us fall into relationships and situationships with people we already know from the jump this isn't God ordained. You know why it's not God ordained? Because when you ask God, is this the one, he said nothing to you. And was it Pastor Toure, when I was listening to one of his teachings, and he was saying something about, unless God says yes, it's always no. You can't take silence as an answer. You know, you can't take silence as a yes. Do you know what I mean? Unless God says yes, it's a no. Because sometimes we will ask God something, and then we're like, if you don't say yes by Tuesday afternoon, I'm going to take it, you know. It's like, you can't manipulate God like that. God is not a human being that you can manipulate. That's a divine being. Do you understand? He knows your thoughts before you even think them. So yeah, sometimes we've all fallen into that. We've all gotten into a relationship or situationship with somebody where we're like, oh, somehow it's gonna work its way in. It's like, no, sis. If it's not, if you know from the jump, you know this ain't it. You know this ain't God ordained. This ain't what the Lord wants for me. I shouldn't even be with this person. You know what you're supposed to do is get out of that as softly as you can. Don't do what I do, which is ghosting, which is not nice. So Liz was talking about that in her live and how she, you know, she felt about it. Then there was another live that Jason was on. Jason come out and said that since being on the show, he regrets being on the show, because since being on the show, he has found it really, really hard to date, because people have seen him on the show. And the thing is, we've seen your tricks and your trades and the things that you do, sweetheart. And Jason, let me tell you something. You might think you're nice. You might think you're real handsome, but you're not handsome enough for people to overlook your BS. Okay, sweetheart. Okay. I mean, the things that Jason was doing on that show, we saw how he manipulates women. The good thing about Ready to Love is you really get to see like a behind the scenes view of how people eliminate when they're dating you. Because when you're dating a man, you only see what he presents to you when you're around him. You don't see the things, the conversation he's having with his friends. You don't see the other women he's dating. You don't see none of that interaction. So you're very blindsided. You just believe whatever he gives to you, whatever he presents to you, that's what you believe. But on the show, you really get to see a man behind the scenes. You see how he's manipulating one woman to get to you and whatnot. And Jason did a lot of that, okay? And he really did date Liz. Yes, I think he found her attractive, but I really think he dated Liz to spite Kyra, because he felt like Kyra was leaning towards the other bald-headed guy, I forgot his name, AJ, more so than leaning towards him. So he was doing that out of spite. I honestly believe that. That's just my honest opinion. Boom. Okay, my honest opinion is he was really trying to spite Kyra with dating Liz, and really trying to force it. Like, this right here, this is real right here. It's real. You didn't make it to 12 months. How real is it? Do you understand? And like, Liz was out of his league, and I said that in one of my reviews, like, Liz is out of his league, Kyra's out of his league, everybody's out of his league, because it's not even so much about Jason's looks, it's about Jason's character. His character was just very poor. He just, you know, he was not as nice as he seemed. And that whole giving her roses, and it's like, I never gave nobody roses apart from my mother and my stepmother. Let me find out you gave roses to somebody else apart from your mother, your stepmother, and Liz. And I said it already, like, why would a man give you a present that he would give to his mother? Then he looks at you like his mother. To me, that's a red flag. It's like, don't look at me like I'm your mother, because the energy exchange between us is not the same as the energy exchange between you and your mother. Like, that's weird. That's weird. I said that in my review that I didn't understand that. But anyways, so Liz and Jason are basically both regretting being on the show. Personally, I don't think this show is very good. It's good for entertainment for people like me to talk about. I'm like, oh girl, did you see what Liz did? You see what Jason did? But honestly, if you're really if you're really serious about finding love, why would you be on a show? Even like married on first sight, married at first sight. If you're really serious about marriage, why would you marry someone you just met? Think about that. To me, it's just like, are you on the show because you just want to be someone's wife? You want to be called Mrs. So-and-so? Because you're marrying an absolute stranger who could turn out to be, you know, all types of crazies. Girl. Anyway, this is a short video to just basically say I'm uplift Liz because I really did like Liz. I really liked her for she had a good energy, good spirit. She was a good woman who deserves to be happy in life with a good partner who would be uplifting her in prayer when she is down and will be there for her in all good ways. It's unfortunate that she kind of did waste her time on that show, but you know what? It's a lesson learned. Sometimes the Lord lets us do what we want to do when we pray, and then we feel like, oh, he's taking too long. Oh my gosh, you know. And this is the thing about disobedience. Sometimes, you know, disobedience is basically thinking that you know better. And, you know, that's what disobedience is. You think you know better. You think you know the shortcut. You know, you forget that God has been here before you were here. But I uplift Liz, you know, and I hope that she does find that love, and I hope that she finds that person, because that's what the journey most of us are on in life, is being with the person we're meant to be with and living that happy, joyful life, and the simple things in life that just makes it more fun and joyful, and you wake up to every morning. Do you know what I mean? Because in the grand scheme of life, it's better to have a partner that loves you and respects you than maybe to have, you know, a Maybach Benz. Like, come on, that might be better for some of us. Not for me. Okay. Anyways, I hope you like this video, and if you want to talk more about, you know, if you want to watch anything about love and relationships and conversations, you know, back and forth, make sure to click that subscribe button and follow me on all my socials, love_Fleurette. And what do you think about Liz and Jason? If you watched Ready to Love back in the day, what do you think about Liz and Jason? Did you really think they were gonna make it? Did you think they were gonna make it? Or did you think that Jason was playing games? Thanks for watching. Peace.